Hey,
What's going on?
Thursday edition.
Thursday.
Unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond our control, we did not come on Tuesday. What a week it's been for me and my personal life and my Bucs life especially. But we're not going to touch on my personal life. Let's just say I had a situation come up that I couldn't be on due to a family health issue. We'll leave it at that.
All right.
So, how about them Bucs?
How about them, man?
Jeez.
That was a nail biter.
Dude, we were there.
Ups and downs.
Man, my throat is still recovering. I mean, I talked a lot of mess during that game.
And then there was some times where everybody was cheering around you and you were sitting dejected in your chair.
Oh, my God. I was so – you know what's funny is the ebbs and flow of that game were just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean –
what was crazy is that we had an entire section chanting "Let's go Niners" in the middle of the
game. Something tells me you're a little bit
I had nothing to do with that.
Under the advice of some alcohol, and it was a little grander than you think.
No, I had nothing to do with that.
A little less grand than you think. But, man, Bucs 38. Colts 31, and they still almost lost in the closing seconds of that game.
Yeah, your butthole puckered up a little bit on that return kickoff.
Oh my God! I was getting messages, hey, can you go on? Can you go on? I'm like, yeah, send me the link. I'll go on. We'll figure this out. And then next thing I know, he's dashing down the sideline. I'm like, oh my God!
And it was a shoestring tackle there at the end too.
Oh, it was a clean tackle. But you know what they say. Karma's a bee. And now you look at the NFL today and you got COVID coming down on the Bucs. Breach of COVID protocol sending Antonio Brown, Mike Edwards to a 3-game suspension. Now, whatever. It is what it is. They did the crime. They did the time. But, I mean, Antonio Brown has definitely proven that not everyone gets the Rodgers rate. I mean, how does Aaron Rodgers violate the same protocols and sits pretty?
He sat out because of an injury, though, right?
He sat out because of COVID.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, he served his penalty under the same reason, right?
Well, yeah.
Like he was out due to sickness, and so they said, okay, well, that time is your penalty.
Yeah, but he didn't get fined a game or nothing. He didn't get a game check suspension or anything like that. I mean, they've even suspended Franklin III, who he's not even on roster anymore. But if any team signs him, subject to the 3-game suspension.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I was saying was that did he serve his suspension while he was out anyway because he was sick?
He was just fined.
Wow. Yeah, well, it's just like everything else to do with COVID. It's always changing, and nobody knows what's correct. So,
right,
deal with it.
Yeah, like Nick says. Nick chimes in. You know, Big Nick. You met him in Detroit. Yeah. He chimes in. Yeah, he just got fined. Well, not everyone gets the Rodgers rate. Just like Gronk can't get the insurance for the vets.
And not everyone. AB should have done his discount double check.
Right.
He didn't check it twice.
So before we get into this game, man, let's run down what happened week 12, Thanksgiving week of the NFL.
Yeah, we had that nail biter with those two awesome teams on Thanksgiving that everybody was forced to watch the NFL prying their eyes open.
Dude, that Bears-Lions game forced me and everyone else in the world to talk to their families. Dude, not that I don't talk to my family anyway, but it's a good show.
It was rough. It was very rough.
How did the Bears barely beat the Detroit Lions? Better yet, how do the Detroit Lions keep getting allowed to play on Thanksgiving Day?
How did the Detroit Lions let Andy Dalton go off for 300 yards? What?
I mean,
And then and then on the flip side, how do the Bears have Andy Dalton go off for 300 yards and they only lose by 2 and the last second field goal?
but anyway,
Goodness.
let's get to some better games.
Yeah. Sorry. So just skip Thanksgiving because that was all.
Well, we had the Bills demolish the Saints. That's good in my eyes.
Well, yeah, it was a boring game though.
It definitely. But anyway, Broncos 28, Chargers 13. Who saw that coming? I mean,
Dallas.
the Broncos. But I mean, Broncos seem to be a team that play up to their competition or play down to their competition. They're never even keel.
Yeah, it's really weird going on. I was reading an article the other day, and it was talking about how the league is so much more even this year.
Dude, it's crazy.
They couldn't figure out why. Like, there's no, reason, but
right,
it's unpredictable this year more than it has been.
Right.
How about the Niners, though?
Dude,
I mean, people are calling them the Bucs of last year. Coming into mid-season with this record, and watch out.
Yeah, they're hitting stride, but
Debo is down now, so we'll see how they do without him. But
how long is Debo out?
They're saying only 1 week. He fell down on the play when he felt it start to hurt. So they're saying he saved a serious injury by doing that. So they're hoping it's only 1 week. Fred Warner's out. That's going to hurt.
They barely squeaked by the Minnesota Vikings, right? They won by one drive, ain't it?
I mean,
the Vikings.
8 points. The Vikings are a playoff team right now.
Anyway, let's keep rolling.
Yeah.
The Titans can't seem to win a game without Henry.
Crash and burn. Crash and burn.
They make the playoffs?
I think they might hang on for one of the last wildcard spots.
Patriots look strong.
Patriots are strong.
You think they control the AFC now, or I mean they got the Bills, the Colts, and the Bills still to go.
I mean the Colts are on the uptick. I mean we saw that live. I really think the Bills are still there. It's just the Bills struggle to show up on game days when they're playing a lesser opponent.
Bills Bucs is going to be huge.
Yeah, but I mean, and then you've got the AFC North. Nobody knows who's going to come out of there. So,
I mean, Giants pull one out this week over the Eagles, 13-7.
Another thriller.
Right. Well, speaking of AFC North, you got the Bengals demolishing the Steelers. Not even really worth mentioning. 41-10.
That was pretty shocking. I didn't see that coming that bad. I don't at all.
Right? Washington football team destroyed that way. 17-15 over Danger Russ and the Seattle Seagulls. But AP signs there this week onto the practice squad.
And he gets to go up against the Niners.
I mean, I think he's going to need his own oxygen tank playing that game. But
yeah, we'll see how they do against the Niners defense. So hopefully they continue to crash and burn and Niners can take advantage of it, get another W.
But,
yeah.
The Raiders upset the Cowboys.
Is that an upset?
I think it is. I mean, I really think
it's the Cowboys, though. I mean,
really, really thinking that's a big upset. The Raiders aren't a playoff team. Cowboys definitely will be in the playoffs. They're in a weak division.
Well, yeah. I mean, by default,
right?
Yeah,
they're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But how them Falcons do last week?
I lost it. They won.
They won.
Or no, they played Jacksonville. Yeah.
Yeah, but they won. So you got
Battle of the worst.
Falcons with their one-man offense and now defense, apparently, as he's slated into their secondary.
We'll see how that goes.
Daryl Patterson going in, going to defend their home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who come off a huge road win this week, 38-31. Brady was 25 of 34 for 226 yards. 1 TD, 1 INT. Not very Brady-esque, but he really wasn't needed it. I mean, he didn't need to be. Leonard Fournette took that game over. 17 carries, 100 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown. Brady's only touchdown to Leonard Fournette. Rojo had 7 carries, 37 yards, and a TD. Gronk had 7 receptions for 123 yards. Welcome back, Rob Gronkowski. But the Colts, I mean, they exposed us again. They exposed how weak the Bucs are up the seam. Tight end seams all day. You could see it from the stands.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see tackle would flex out, gap would open up, tight end would release all day. Carson Wentz went for 306, 3 tutties. What killed him was his 2 interceptions. One with Antoine Winfield Jr. out jumping a 6'4" Michael Pittman Jr.
Yeah.
And then Pierre Desir closing the game out at the end on that last-ditch effort by Wentz to get him into the end zone. Jonathan Taylor was held under 100 yards. 83 yards on 16 attempts. He did have a touchdown. But Doyle, right here, this is it right here. Doyle killed us. 6 receptions, 81 yards. I'd have kept picking apples from that tree all day.
Yeah.
I don't know why they stopped.
I mean, honestly, that game, if the Colts don't drop the ball 3 times, that game is possibly lopsided. Colts winning that game.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, there was a couple times where they just handed you guys, the ball. Here you go. Go ahead and score.
I Candy Andy from our NFC Roundtable discussion asked, do you think defense will be able to shut down Gronk? Will shut down Gronk out on offense? Do you see weapons picking up slack?
What part of the field?
Right. I mean, in the red zone,
Yeah.
I don't think in the red zone you got Mike Evans and Rob Gronkowski to deal with. I don't think you're shutting down Gronk in the red zone. You kick it outside. Scotty Miller's finally coming back. He still has the speed to take off the defense. We didn't see Perriman much last week. He has the speed to take off the defense. Tyler Johnson still has speed. Godwin had an uncharacteristic game. The big turning point in the game, honestly, was Barrett's fumble. Barrett's strip sack. Here, we got it right here. Nick Schlick. Nick Schlick, reading my mind. Strip fumble changed the game for us. We were up by 10, getting ready to score again. They were up by 10, getting ready to score again. And that's the truth. Not to mention, they stop us. We punt. The ball is muffed, and Scotty Miller is down there fast enough that the ball hits the damn returner, and he's already on top of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't coach speed. I mean, I'm so happy Scotty Miller's back. He makes an impact on special teams. He's going to be returning kicks this week. He makes an impact in the receiving game. You might see them give him a couple scooter options where he's going to come running around in a sweep and things like that. Andy, is this question in regards to the Bucs in the red zone with the ground game? Because Leonard Fournette really looked tough this week. Averaged 5.6 a carry. Had a touchdown. Or had 3 touchdowns. What's that?
Have you seen it? Oh, no, never mind.
Have I seen what?
You seen Fournette's?
Yeah. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the minute pass interference on we got on Miller was very fortunate also because that definitely was not PI.
Might have had to do with Brady talking to the refs for about 10 minutes during the commercial break, but nobody saw that at home. So
I didn't even see Brady talk to him. I don't know what you're talking about.
oh, come on. The entire stadium was booing him because he was out there during the timeout.
Hey, it is what it is. But yeah, the Bucs, I mean, that game is huge. Huge.
Yeah, it was a big game.
You go into that game coming off 2 road losses
To subpar teams.
to teams you shouldn't even have lost to.
Yeah.
Teams that shouldn't even have been in the same stadium with you. You go against a team that's touting probably the best running back in the league right now. In John. And I mean, Carson Wentz carved up the Buccaneers. If you told me that Carson Wentz was going to go for 300 yards and the Bucs still won, I'd have told you were lying.
Every stat basically goes to the Colts except for turnovers.
You can't.
And the final score, right?
Well, yeah, but turnovers is huge. You can't.
No, absolutely.
You can't be like in turnovers. The Bucs only had 4 penalties that game.
No, I know. I mean, the Colts only had 6.
Right, but that was a sound. That was what was great about that game. We were sitting in the stadium, and it was a smooth-paced game. There wasn't a lot of penalties. You didn't have a lot of junk
calls
to filter through. I mean, it was great. I mean, it was smooth football. Both are really, really, really well-coached teams. Colts are going to be there in the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely.
You might see. I mean, Colts play December football. They run the ball well. Their quarterback, if he's playing well, knows to check down.
That's their problem.
But he is the problem. 100% he's the problem. Yeah. But he looked good Sunday. I mean, you can't be mad at Wentz for his effort. He played really well on Sunday. He ran well. He threw well. The interception that Winfield got was not on Wentz.
No.
That ball was catchable. Pittman just didn't put forth the effort needed to get it. Winfield's what, 5'9", 5'10", maybe?
I don't know.
Pittman's 6'4". How is he out jumping you?
Yeah.
But anyway.
The Colts are very quiet 6-6.
Yeah, I think it's the other way around. I think they're allowed 6-6.
Well, yeah, I mean, however you want to say it. But I mean, they're 6-6, but I think they're a contender.
Yeah, but
so I guess yeah, it would be loud. Sure.
You look at them and they're 6-6, but they're like 3 plays away from being like 9-2.
Yeah.
9-3.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they got their bye what, next week or is it this week? It's coming up. It's got to be within the next 2 weeks. But so we head into Atlanta.
Yeah, their byes next week. They got the Texans this week.
That's 2 byes in a row. Yeah.
What you said about Washington.
You know what? I don't know what I said. But we're past Washington now. I mean, Washington's on a tear too. They've won 3 games. They might knock the Cowboys out of first place in the NFC East.
It'd be hilarious.
The Cowboys lose tonight, they're in trouble. I mean, I think someone said it here earlier. I want to say it was Christopher Cole. Yeah, they're in trouble. If the Cowboys lose tonight to the Saints, who are starting for the first time this year, Taysom Hill, the Cowboys are in trouble.
I think the Cowboys are in trouble anytime it comes towards the end of the year.
I mean, what's the issue there? Is it ownership?
They're the Cowboys. They're the 1-star Cowboys.
So now we have the Bucs heading to Atlanta, coming off a big win against Indianapolis. That game is something you can build on. Going ahead. What's that?
You would hope. You'd hope you don't come out and lay an egg.
Well, after this week, after Atlanta, we've got the Bills. And as a famous tagline in a terrible movie that everybody likes, Admiral Ackbar steps up and says, "It's a trap." And it is. This is a big trap game for the Bucs. I mean,
And it's an interdivision game.
Interdivision game, favored by 11.5, going into opposing territory. You've already beat them once.
They've been struggling on the road all year.
It's a huge trap game. Looks like we got Rodzilla in the lobby. Let's see if we can pull him up, see if he has to add to this. Rod, are you hearing us?
Yo.
It's always fun when Rod comes on. We never know if he's going to speak or just stare into our eyes lovingly.
Hey, man, you find your phone?
And, of course, the nerd of the group, Anderson. That didn't sound like Admiral Ackbar at all. I don't even know if that's his real name. I don't even – tell you the truth, I don't even know what he looks like. I've seen Star Wars maybe once, and it was one of the worst experiences of my life. Yeah. But although I did watch the Bucs lose the Washington football team. So, anyway. So they head into Atlanta. No Ridley. I mean, who's their offensive threat? I mean, Gage.
Darrell Patterson, man.
Oh yeah. Plus they got a fullback, and that's huge when you're playing the Bucs. You know, Cordell Patterson, he's just like a Swiss Army knife. I mean,
apparently, I never thought he was before this season.
Either the Bears just are terrible at cultivating talent.
Hey, man, Nagy's still got a job.
I think they're going to start chanting that at every stadium in the country. But so Cordell Patterson, he's bringing him a good blocking fullback. You know, they got Keith Smith, he doesn't do much other than block. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's like a guard coming out of the backfield. But Patterson is clutch. I've been saying it all year. I don't know what the deal is that they can't – I don't know what the deal is in Atlanta that they can't close out a game. They'll be up early, take that lead into the half. You know, it's just they come out at halftime and
they don't make the adjustments, man.
Or they just think we don't need to make adjustments because we're winning at halftime. If you had a record based on who's leading the game at halftime, the Atlanta Falcons are a playoff team. No questions asked. But so you've got, you know, Cordell Patterson running the ball, but he's also more of a threat catching your swings and your wheels out of the back.
I think your guys' biggest threat this week, and, you know, based on what happened last week, is Kyle Pitts.
Agreed, but the Falcons don't use him.
Well, maybe they watched the film from last week, put some stuff in.
I mean, Devin White hasn't had a great game. He played really well on the run. He's playing better than he has in the past, but he hasn't had a great game. But I really don't think you're going to see them use Pitts in the seam. I mean, I really think you're going to see Gage, who goes off against Sean Murphy-Bunting time and time again, pushed out to the slot. Tharp and Zachariah, I can't even say that guy's last name. It's like Deuteronomy. It's like this huge biblical name, Zacharias, Zacharakakas, something like that. But they're going to push them out on the edge, and they're just going to try to dink and dunk with Gage and Pitts. But I don't think you're going to see Pitts hitting the seam. They just don't use him. He's putting up numbers, but they're not the numbers you'd expect coming from how he was touted coming into the league.
Yeah.
He's very Brady Quinn-esque, in my opinion.
He just doesn't have his star quarterback in Kyle Trask.
I hate you so much. But Matty Ice is still a solid quarterback. Big man Ross says the Bucs need to have a complete game. Last week was probably the closest they came to a complete game, and it still was far from complete.
Yeah.
You're if you can get the Bucs play complementary football, both offense, defense, and throwing the special teams just for kicks, they're a hard team to beat.
Just
I don't care who you
are. What you did there.
What's it? Special teams and kicks?
Just for kicks. Dude.
But yeah.
I wouldn't say it was horrible.
Falcons, but they're right. He is right. I mean, you start off the game slow. Every
the Bucs
week
have been doing that all year.
When does it stop?
Yeah.
I mean, you force a team like the Falcons.
They've had one game where they came out and scored first 3 drives.
Right.
And it was when they threw away Brady's touchdown pass or whatever.
Right.
That was it.
Right, but it's at home. The Bucs are a different team at home. But yeah, the first half is always maybe not the whole first half, but the first 2-3 drives is just like they're still getting off the damn plane. It's like bring your running game, bring your pass, bring it off the tarmac, get it out onto the field. I mean, they're just slow, very lethargic.
Oh man,
they're not old. Brady's old. So, I mean, we saw some injuries last week, but Allie looks like he's practicing. Unfortunately, like I said, AB and Mike Edwards hurts. Mike Edwards not being there for 3 games is going to hurt. He's the Bucs. I don't want to say he's their heart, but he really is he helps that defense so much more than he's given credit for. Leads the team in interceptions. He feasts against the Falcons. He had two INTs, one for a pick 6. They don't win that game without him last time. So, I mean, it's going to be huge with him being out. You're going to see more play from friggin' Cockrell, who's decent, not great, holds a lot. You get a lot of penalties. But
so what I've never understood is why don't the Bucs just put in that guy they drafted at corner?
Shot your
Wait. Sorry, that was a different team.
We're not going to really go into who gets the nod today because I'm really just not feeling it. It always ends the same way, especially when you're going against a team like the Falcons. But the person that we really need to watch for defensively is AJ Terrell. He's killing it this year for the Falcons. He's young. So he's not afraid to make the mistakes. He's not afraid to jump a route. He's not afraid to stick his nose in there and get dirty. He's playing really well at the cornerback position. Not having Antonio Brown, I don't think is going to hurt us as much this week. Like I said, we have Scotty Miller and Perriman.
I don't think it hurt you guys last week.
But it could have. I mean, he could have done so much that game.
I think you guys have so many receivers that they're interchangeable, and
it's true. It is interchangeable.
Yeah, you don't really have a guy that's going to make or break anything.
Well, let me put it this way: if we lose Mike Evans, okay, you slide Godwin out.
Your yak went up.
You slide Godwin out. You slide Johnson in. You push some pieces around, but you can't take. You can't take anybody out there and do what Antonio Brown does. He's probably the best route runner in the league. Even now, to this day. He's explosive with this ball in his hands. But, so, don't look at me like that. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm just saying you just contradicted yourself. I mean, route running is done without the ball in your hands. And then
I didn't contradict myself. I said he's one of the best out route running and
I thought you said I thought you were making it this is the same point.
No.
It was like you don't have the ball in your hands when you're route running. But
right. No, I get you.
Got it.
But so the Falcons come into this game pretty healthy. Only person listed as questionable right now is Bullard, their left defensive end. He didn't practice today. He's got an ankle injury. But other than that, looks like everyone but what's his name? Wide receiver, mental issues. God, what is his name? That's it. It was a riddle. See what I did there? It was weak.
You're full of them today, man.
Dad joke. So anyway, like I said, their defense isn't anything to write home about, but they're not terrible.
Their punter is out.
Oh Jesus, that's the most. That man's gotten the most work this year.
He's on the field more than anybody.
Right. So, but anyway, so looking at this game, I really think you're going to see Leonard Fournette be utilized quite a bit. I don't think you're going to see them airing the ball out too much. I don't see them covering the spread. The spread's 11.5. I don't like that in an interdivision game, especially when you're on the road. So, I don't know. It scares me. This game, it has all the dressings of a trap game.
Absolutely.
I mean, what are you thinking you're going to see out of the Bucs this week? I mean, I know you're not a Bucs fan. This is usually Rod's bit, but Rod's having some issues.
I mean, I think it's either going to be an extremely close game, an unsettling close game, or it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be one of the two. It's got to go that way. I don't think it's just going to be like a normal. The Bucs go in and win by 2 touchdowns or something. I think it's going to be either 41-3 or it's going to be, 34-31 or something like that.
Right. Well, my thing is this:
division games are always tough, man.
If the Bucs come out this game and they force the Falcons to become one-dimensional, what do you want them to be? I mean, they're not going to try to run the ball.
No.
So you force them to pass the ball. You don't want them to pass the ball on you. Matt Ryan's not a bad quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, Matt Ryan's one of the best quarterbacks that can't win, in my opinion.
I mean, he's not Dan Marino.
Yeah, this is true.
But I mean, seriously, you look at him statistically, he pretty much is one Super Bowl loss.
Yeah.
Both played extremely well that entire season.
Yeah, but he's always pretty solid. But yeah, I mean, I think the Falcons are going to come out and they're going to try to establish the run with Patterson. I don't think it's going to work. I mean, how much did the Bucs hold Taylor to?
83 yards. But the Colts abandoned the run.
Yeah. I think they knew that, they knew that's what they were going to key on, and so they came out and tried to go back the other way.
Big game with RJ. Bucs play fat and lose.
That's what I'm saying is I think it's either going to be a quote-unquote trap game where they come out and they're looking ahead because they got the Bills.
Right.
And it's going to get the best. So it's a division game. Those are always different.
Big Russ, what's up, my brother?
What's happening, linebacker? What's going on with you?
Not much, my friend, not much. So, I know you're a Cowboys fan.
Oh,
and I'm sorry.
Man, I am so sorry.
But you're in the comments. You say the Bucs by 3, huh?
What you said now?
In the comments, you said you have the Bucs by 3.
Yeah.
How you seeing that Ray out, well?
Cause they go, y'all. The Falcons gonna get up. Tom Brady gonna come back at the end, and y'all gonna kick a field goal and win the game.
Go give them the old 28-3 okey doke.
Yep, pretty much.
You think the Falcons are gonna be up, huh?
Yeah.
No, man.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Okay.
So big man playing nose tackle. What are your thoughts on Vita Vea?
Is he out?
No, he's in. He lost a tooth last week, got hit in the mouth, came in with the sprained knee, still played in the game. But I mean, that's a big man, massive humanity, moving people around like it's nothing. You played the position.
I think y'all need to save him, man.
You think we should save him?
For the long run, bro.
Yeah.
He's listed as questionable.
Yeah,
y'all need he gonna play, but y'all need to save him for real. Because who else y'all got to stick it up?
You got Nacho. You got
No. He was with us. He was with us, remember? No. No.
You got Golson. I mean, you got some options there. But Vita Vea is probably the best nose tackle in the league.
Right. He should be there. Y'all should save him. Rest him at least 1 or 2 games for the long run.
Yeah.
Y'all pretty much got the division. Hold on, y'all got the division?
The Bucs have to push. The Bucs have to push to get the first round bye in home field because they can't play on the road. They've been showing that, except for last week. 3-3 on the road, though, going into playoffs is
Brady's a different beast in the playoffs. So he can win the game. He can win the game on his own.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But
so y'all should save Vita Vea. Let him sit a couple games, let his knee heal, and just like for us, for instance, these last meaningless games. Now Zeke out, and now we got to rely on Pollard and the other backup.
Well, we don't need Vea this week if the Cowboys can do their job tonight.
Oh, we got you. I talked to Jerry this morning.
This Jerry or the one down south?
Nah, I called Jerry. I said, "Hey man, we can't lose to the Saints now."
I hear you.
He said, "Well, we all right. You know, we got our 3 wide receivers back. That don't mean shit. You can score all you want to, but if you can't stop nobody, so what the fuck?"
Like that's one. You didn't say that though, right? That wasn't the F word.
Yeah, I'll let you in on a little secret. The Cowboys will always let you down.
This coming from a Niners fan who hasn't won a Super Bowl in almost just as long.
Right.
When were you guys there last?
96, I think.
I graduated.
When I graduated from high school.
I was gonna say, Russ, we graduated that year.
Yeah.
Clinton was in office.
Yeah.
Actually, Lewinsky was in office. Clinton was just there.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, looking for nickels on the floor don't count.
So go ahead and bring up the comments.
Are the Bucs playing just to make the playoffs and then it's lights out? If by lights out you mean they make the playoffs and then go on a tear, then possibly. But I don't think sitting Vita Vea is the answer. I think you need him. I think you need him to, especially now that you're up a couple games in the division, you can really put a knife in the back of the Saints and the Falcons by winning this game.
Okay, we're gonna help y'all with the Saints tonight.
Right on, sir. Big Stout's telling you to say tell him. So it is what it is. Well, big man, we're probably going to close the show out here tonight. We ain't got much to cover left anymore, and I'm pretty tired. So I appreciate you stopping in. Stop in anytime, man.
All right, I'll do that. When the next one?
We do it Sunday mornings at 9, and then we have the Tuesdays at 5:30.
Okay, I'll do Tuesday. I'll watch y'all game, so I'll have something to talk about.
All right, brother.
Yes, sir.
Later, big man. That was Big Ross, man. He was my defensive tackle for years. That man kept me clean so many occasions. So let's get into closing this out, my man. Getting a little Nostradamus on him.
All right.
So
let me get you.
You want to get the logo up? All right, let's get the logo up.
Hold on.
You got to put it up there for me, bro.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. There it is.
There we go. Get a little Nostradamus. So my predictions this week, pretty easy here. We're going to say Leonard Fournette goes for 115, 120. Looking at like 20 carries. Ronald Jones, you're going to add another 10 to 15 carries, probably 45, 50 yards. Brady is going to throw for at least 225, 230. I don't think you're going to see an explosive 300-yard game for Brady again till probably the Bills game. If the Bucs come out and play a full game, offense, defense, special teams, think we're looking at 31, 32 to 20, 24, somewhere in that area. Defense comes to play. I think we're good. I think we can definitely cover the spread. Unfortunately, I'm leery of this defense still, even though we have, like I said, Sean Murphy-Bunting, Carlton Davis possibly coming back, and Jamal Dean. Mike Edwards, again, stupidity. Anytime Antonio Brown comes to you with a plan, remember, it's a trap. I mean, how can you take advice from a man that has no common sense? Mike Edwards put his future in the hands of Antonio Brown. Let that set in for you. Now, even though I love Mike Edwards as a player, I think he's a starter on 31 other teams in the league. Hands down, starting safety, 31 other teams in the league. 31 other teams in the league. When you let Antonio Brown talk you in to this great idea, you put a big question mark on yourself. It's your free agent year next year. Some team's going to be looking at you crazy. But anyway, having said that, I got Bucs winning this week. Jerry?
I think the Bucs are going to roll.
Yeah? I like to hear that.
I think so. The Falcons haven't won at home all year.
The Bucs aren't good on the road.
I understand, but it's the Falcons. The Falcons rely on the run, and the Bucs can stop the run. I'm going 41-9.
Wow. You might as well call for the 50, Jerry.
No.
Call
41-9.
Call it.
No.
Don't be scared.
41-9.
If you call for the 50 and they get it, I'll shave my head.
Okay.
I'm shaving my head anyway. But anyway. All right, y'all.
All right, man.
We'll see you guys Sunday. NFC Roundtable with me, myself, and then we got Jerry Christian, Mike Stout, and Candy Andy Anderson Hannah. We'll be giving you this week's picks, in our pick six segment, which
who's leading that? Who's leading that? That's right.
We have to listen to dribble about. Oh, I forgot Brian Robinson as well will be there.
Yeah, he tells us 6 teams that'll lose.
Giving us garbage about the NFC North. We got Stout that will be giving us dribble about how great the Cowboys used to be. Jerry talking a bunch of crap about how Colin Kaepernick isn't the answer, but the Niners haven't had a quarterback since Joe Montana, and myself giving you the NFC South and the Bucs. So until then, go Bucs.
Go Niners.